You may have asked yourself, how can I possibly get more power in my punches? Or how can I get the right technique? Or how can I get the faster at punching with my power that I have? So here's how you do it. With a jab, and I'm just gonna do crosses this video to show you how to punch correctly with a cross. A cross and a hook are two different things. People think that a hook's the same thing as a cross. It's really not. A hook is when, say, you're jabbing somebody, you're jabbing, and then you lift up your elbow and you go for the jab, but it spins over. So it's like that, and it comes around and hits them like that. That's a hook. A cross is this, because you're making a cross form, right? Okay. So a cross, let's say we're doing a left cross with a not southpaw position. So a left cross would be a you bend down, you go to the side. If you're going to their body, you go to the side, you bend down, bend your knees. You pivot, hips, and your arm. Okay, so it's all one motion. All right. If you don't do that, I'm going to show you what happens. This is just my arm. When I go for the cross, this is just my arm. Okay? Now I'm going to add my hips into the equation. Now I'm going to really pivot and use my hips. You see the difference? There's a reason why you need to practice on your technique, because your technique actually is what gives you more power and speed. Southpaw, right cross. Obviously, you bend in. I'm going to do just my arm. Not too much. It's not too bad, but it's nothing compared to what I could do if I add my hips to my pivot. So I'm just going to add my hips. Now I'm going to do my pivot and my hips. There's a whole complete different. If you just add those two things, you have so much more power than you think you will. Same thing with the jab and the. Well, I'm going to do the jab and the right for this one. So if you're jabbing and you're not a southpaw and you're jabbing, what you want to do is you want to turn your heel, kind of like that, okay? So your feet are squared up. You want your torso to be square with them. So when you jab, you can turn and spin your hips with that jab. So, see? I'm going to jab with just my arm. I'm going to put my hips into it. Now I'm going to pivot. See, it's just technique you use. Now I'm going to do the big right. So how you do that is pretty much the same thing. Pivot, hips, arm. So it's a whole. Okay. Yeah, same thing with the southpaw. You know, it's just my arm, it's my hips, it's my pivot. It's technique, balance, leverage, stability, and pinpoint accuracy.